Hello, imprisoned tubers, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Let's Play Fire Emblem Thracia 776. And when I say Let's Play, I mean everyone. Everyone's playing it all together. We've got the live chat open. This is stream number 3, and we're gonna Twitch plays it. That'd be suicidal. But for real, we're still in prison, and I believe we got a Gaiden chapter because we rescued some villagers last chapter. Oh, good. Plus, the fog of war has returned. Alright, Sir Said. So this is a new character. We haven't seen this kid before. Well, we saw him very briefly in the beginning of last chapter. Sir Said, do you think the kids are safe? Think of it the way Raedric would. Would you send a convoy all the way to Belhalla with only 3 or 4 children? Or would you wait until you have plenty to show for yourself? There's still time, Asbel. People abuse Ivel. Well, I've been trying not to use them too much. Then we can send them all back home. Their parents must be so worried. Focus, Asbel. There's too many guards around to celebrate just yet. Yes, sir. Listen closely. After you've rescued the children, I want you to rejoin Brighton and seek out Prince Leaf of House Leonster. Come again, Prince Leaf? Indeed, he fell prey to some trap of Raedric's and was imprisoned in this very castle. Yeah, I also heard that Ivel's got some sort of hidden invulnerability flag. I've been not using that at all, because that sounds super cheap. Asbel, what's wrong? You're white as a sheet. Lord Leaf was a dear friend of mine, you see. We got separated in Tara years ago, and I've been looking for him ever since. For 3 whole years I've been searching. Then look alive. Today is the day you've been waiting for. Find the prince and escape Munster with him. I've ordered all Magi outside the castle to flee Munster as well. We'll be sitting ducks if we stay here much longer. Are you coming with us? I considered it, but I can't. There's many villagers and townfolks left in Munster, and they need my aid as much. Also, I got this sneaking suspicion there's some people trying to drag me back home in that army with Leaf, so you better not bring me anywhere near there, or they're going to try talking to go back to Celeste. And I'm not going back to Celeste ever. I mean, you spent this whole time teaching me, and I can't even help you. Some apprentice I turned out to be. No, this is my choice, Asbel. I'm shirking my actual responsibility. It's not fault of yours. No fault of yours. Besides, all I really taught you was the Graf Caliber spell. Do me proud and use it to protect Leaf. Sir Said, will we ever see each other again? Well, if Prince Leaf is the hero we've been waiting for, then the long night is finally over and Thracia will breathe free again. We will see each other again, Asbel, right here in Munster. Munster? Right it is. Don't you forget, Sir Said. Alright. New guys. Mages. And yet more villager green units to try to escort off the map. Come on, knock off the waterworks. But don't make them soldiers mad at us again. They'll just tell us to quit your belly aching like last time. I don't care if they get mad. If I get caught crying and they get angry, maybe they'll just send me home. I just want to go home. Or they'll just kill you, because that's what the evil empire does. They just kidnap small children and kill them. Okay, so this is, unfortunately, where things get real. So we've got a fog of war map in the prison with no inventory management, a limited team, and a lot of things to go bad. I don't believe we have a torch. I'm sure experts of the series would make sure you bring a torch for the hidden event that a blind player would never know about. Oh, we do actually have one. Never mind. We have 1 torch. 2. We have 2 torches. Dulcin had one. All right, never mind. We're totally good. But we probably could have carried over another one on Leaf if we really wanted. Or Lifis, I guess. In retrospect, in Chapter 3, you could stack up Lifis and Leaf with items to bring, and then find it in the chests after you're kidnapped, theoretically. So there would be some ways to bring certain things. I know I talked about bringing the flame sword. Well, I didn't know for sure how this all worked ahead of time, but I specifically made sure Leaf had B rank of swords, but then I never transferred the sword over from Ivel. So the flame sword would have been nice to have. We did get the killer sword, though, so at least we had that going for us. Somewhere down here. Maka. Been using that a bit. She's actually really running low on weapons, so our supply of weapons is definitely a little bit slim, like that sword. We could always pass over Leaf's iron sword for a bit. Alright, so one thing I want to show off for the new tubers, the future tubers. We've got some new slides on the left, including just the units that are on this map. So we're not including all the other guys that are somewhere else right now. And last chapter, we never really talked about it. So let's spend a minute or two, or 5 or 20, however long it takes, basically, talking about the new characters and some of their growth rates. So I'll pop it up so you guys can see. Yeah, maybe not. I think the way I like to do this, and what we've been doing in the past, is I look at their actual on-screen stats, so you can see like what they've got right now. Like, this is Fergus, and we can look at his FCM and stuff, which is really good, the follow-up coefficient. You know, a lot of these guys are cavalry that are dismounted, so they're a bit weaker than average right now than their regular strength. But you know, one day they'll get back on their horse. So let's talk Fergus. Right off the bat, I didn't think Fergus was super great. I mean, the FCM is great. I liked him more than Brighton, but his base stats were not amazing, and well, he gets that follow-up critical, but that's about it, basically. So we need to see him on a horse, and he needs to gain some good stats. So would he gain good stats? Well, let's go check. Growth rates here on Strange Forest. Not class growth rates. Character growth rates. So our buddy Fergus here. Sometimes they call him different names, so it takes a little second for me to find him. I think he used to be like Falgus or something. Yeah, Felgus. So he's got a 65% HP growth, 35% strength, 10 magic, 45 skill, 35 speed, 40 luck, 25 defense, 20 con, that's pretty high, and 1 build. So my overall impression is pretty standard Thracia growths, nothing really high or low. Around 35 to 40 is pretty average for physical units for strength, skill, speed. He's a little bit higher on skill than some characters by like 5 or 10%, and then a little bit lower on speed by 5 or 10%. But relatively average growths, just by the looks of things, so nothing to worry about there. He's got as good a chance as gaining stats as pretty much anybody. Next up, Karen. So Pegasus Rider. You know, she starts with great speed and luck, and if she had a mount, she'd have even more speed, I think. So she's like super fast, but as usual, Pegasus Rider's very low strength, defense, and HP. Let's just double check if she'll grow out of that, which somehow I have a bad feeling about. I don't think she has any fancy skills or anything, right? FCM of 1, which is not really amazing, and no skills. So she doesn't have anything specifically going for her. Lances while she's in the air, but with very, very low constitution. Very low constitution. It'll be difficult to find her a lance that she can use without a pretty big speed hit. So her stats, growth-wise, 55% HP. It's not terrible, but it's low for a unit that's going to get hit. 30 strength, 15 magic, 35 skill, 70 speed, yikes. 70 luck, also yikes. 15 defense, 5 build, and 2 movement. So the main ones, of course, are speed and luck, which seems like she'll have absolutely no problem hitting the cap. So the game has a 20 cap on stats. She's likely to hit those by the time she's like level 12 or something. So she'll easily get her speed and luck caps. Sadly, though, they don't go any higher, so all those growth rates there don't really help her too much, because you can't keep going past 20. Like a lot of games, Pegasus Knights would have I don't know, probably 25, 28 kind of caps for speed, maybe even 30, depending on what game you're playing as promoted units. But yeah, so her strength growth is only 30, not amazing. Skills 35, HP's fairly low, and then the stats that do have good growth will cap out quickly. So she's our first flyer, but I think statistically she's going to be fairly weak. Low constitution, low strength is going to be difficult. But flying is great, so you know, maybe we'll find a way. Also, this game has the really good canto where you can attack and get out of the way, so she'll still have a use, I'm sure. Next up is Dhalsim, our first armor dude. So, I guess before I tab out too much, Dhalsim's kind of your stereotypical high strength, high defense, lots of constitution, and also uses axes, unlike the guy whose name I always forget. our armored sword guy. I know I asked last stream and I already forgot. But anyway, typically in other Fire Emblem games, our armored dudes either use a lance or in Fire Emblem 4 a sword. So this is a kind of a different unit for us to have a little bit. And he's got a pretty high rank in axes, so if we did give him something like the Brave Axe, he'd be pretty good. There might have been a way to move the Brave Axe over on Leaf or something. Or not the Pugy. We didn't have a lot of axes, but we could have given him a hand axe, an iron axe, because he doesn't have any of that stuff. But maybe we can find one. Well, we'll get one eventually, so that will help him. He needs something accurate, because he's got really low skill. So, you know, looking for a good accurate axe. And low critical multiplier, all that stuff. No skills. Arden? Yeah, I don't know why I can't remember Arden's name. I got too many names on the brain. These lists of names for Fire Emblem 5 with all the different translations is really confusing me. So Dhalsim, let's just have a quick growth review. Where are you, buddy? I have a feeling he wasn't called Dhalsim originally. Or at least not by the fan translation. Oh, no, there he is. Dhalsim. Okay. 60% HP. That's actually kind of low for an armored guy. That's about the same as, Arden can get pursued eventually. Wasn't that the very last chapter that he's in? So I don't know if that counts. Or no, he got on a ring. That wasn't 2. That was like chapter 2 or something like that. That's not so bad. There was something he got at the very end though. Like right by the second last castle or something. Anyway, maybe just a stat boost. Anyway, Dhalsim, so he got 60% HP, which is pretty bad for a fighter. Like a lot of the physical units have 70 or 80. 50% strength growth is pretty good. He's got I'd say a very high chance of capping his strength. Eventually, like you have to level him up, but he can definitely get there. Magic is 5, bad for resistance. 40 skill, not bad. 25 speed, as you'd expect. 25 luck. 20 defense is actually not a lot of growth. Lots of other units have 20, 25, 30 defense growth. So he's got average to low defense growth and a 25 build growth. So kind of like Marty, he's very likely to hit 20 constitution if we level him up enough. And he'll definitely get a lot of strength and con, probably some skill, but his speed and luck and defense aren't going to go up very much unless we find some scrolls for him. So I have a feeling, like almost always, I'm going to have a hard time justifying deploying Dhalsim. Good for holding a line, and there's definitely some use for him right now. Like in these narrow prison chapters, he's great for holding the wall. I getcha, that's his main job. But I find in most Fire Emblem games, armored units with low movement, just in the end, there's not a lot of value for them. Yeah, I mean, 11 defense is probably great for this point in the game, but with a 20% growth, it's going to be a struggle to get it much higher. If we got him to level 20, that's 15 level ups. That would be 3 more on average. You know, you could be RNG blessed or screwed, but he could have 14 defense at level 20. I would guess that on promotion, he probably gets 1 or 2 as well. I'd have to look it up, but you know, chances are he'd go to 15 or 16 at promoted level 1 if you got him all the way to level 20 first. And he'd probably still be able to get to 20 defense. But that's a lot of grinding on a guy that's very slow. Not getting a lot of kills easily. But again, one thing to remember, this game does give us experience for taking no damage. So I assume if his defense out... I say that, but I don't think Thracia enemies will attack you if they do 0 damage. Some Fire Emblem games, the AI is different. So I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool if you could just put them in a hallway and people would just go 0 damage, 0 damage, 0 damage, and you get all the experience and level up. I don't think that would actually work. We might have to test that theory, but chances are that won't work. So he has to attack. It has to be a player phase to get a bit of tiny experience because he can't kill much. We'll see. We'll see. I have low expectations. So Brighton. Next dude. Another knight-style cavalier. This is our Axe Knight, so kind of reminds me of some not amazing genealogy kick players. Axes were just real bad in genealogy. So, I guess he does have a good skill, doesn't he? He's got... Yeah, so I shouldn't give up on him. Wrath is still good, and mounted is great. So mounted, Kanto type combat, plus Wrath, even though he's got a low FCM, low critical multiplier, but Wrath is really good on enemy phase. So, especially once he can use his axes with higher might, and he's mounted and everything, he might have a good value. His stats seem pretty bad for a level 6 character. I know he'll get like +1 when he gets mounted, but speed is bad for base and defense is pretty low. You know, he doesn't have good starting stats. Even using a steel axe, he'd lose speed to equip the steel axe. I think an iron axe is a 12 weight weapon, so he can get away with an iron axe mounted, but not much else. We'll see. I like Wrath. Wrath in these games, FE4 and 5, is really strong, but I think of all the characters we've seen in the dungeon so far that we just recruited, he's about the weakest like fighter unit. Like, I'm not counting Laura as a thief, but like as far as the characters we need to fight things, I'd say Brighton might be the worst one. But I'll have to check his stats, his growth here. So 70% HP, that's good enough. 30% strength, low average. 5 magic, 25 skill, low. 30 speed, pretty low. 15 luck, very low. Or wait. Yeah, 15 luck. 35 defense. So he's got actually a pretty good defense growth for Thracia. Not a lot of units have higher than 35% defense. I think Marty with 40 might be the top. So he's got about as good a defense growth as you can get in this game. 20 constitution growth, good chance to get some extra con points. And then 1 movement percent. Not amazing growths. I think his strength being 30. I think skill, like axe guys always need skill because accuracy sucks for axes. So having bad skill can be pretty brutal on an axe guy. But I'd say his stats or his growth rates are kind of low average, just on quick review. Not as bad as a Jagan style like Ival or Dagdar, but a little bit low. Like I said, Dawson, great right now. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'd say Brighton is my not quite that degree, but I'm also a little bit skeptical. We'll see. Maybe he'll get some amazing level ups and it'll be fine. Oh, speaking of amazing level ups, he can rescue healers. Well, there's a lot of mounted units. I mean, for characters that can carry other people and function as rescues and mounted rescues, I'm sure there's plenty of options. Once we're mounted, Karen can do that. Once we're outside, even though she has 4 constitution, as soon as she's on a Pegasus, she can just pick people up, anybody. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. But for now, he doesn't seem super good. And then I think there's 2 left, Maka and Laura. So Maka had, we'll find out real shortly if she just got lucky, but she had some amazing level ups last chapter, so I'm all in on the Myrmidon train. But she's got a critical multiplier of 3, which is pretty good, and she's got Vantage, which is nice. It's a nice to have. It hasn't really killed anything and stopped her from taking damage yet, but it has some potential. And although I know her joining stats were a little bit on the low end, skill speed are great, and she's been getting some good strength and defense level ups, so she's been off to a really good start. Let's see just how blessed she is. So Maka, previously known as the Makwa, 60 HP growth, pretty low average, kind of Myrmidon standard. 30% strength, so the fact that we've had 2 or 3 strength up already is very lucky. 10 magic. 55 skill, makes sense that goes up regularly. 60% speed, that's nice. She'll cap out skill and speed, no problem. 35% luck, nothing crazy there. 25% defense, another, we've been blessed with +3 defense already, I think. 10 build, 2 movement. So she got 1 constitution already, or build, whatever you want to like to call it. I know she got 2 or 3 points in defense and strength. And she got a handful of skill, speed, luck already too. So she's doing great. I mean, she's still a foot unit that's not mounted with relatively low movement and sword locked, but granted that no Kanto, no horse, no other weapons. I do like Myrmidon Swordmasters in Fire Emblem. I just know they tend to suffer for being sword only. She's got some pretty awesome stats right now. Actually, 6 movement, it's a little bit better than the Game Boy Advance versions. Yeah, we're doing a late night stream there, ProTank. So, I'm pretty sure in these games you get Adept automatically when Myrmidons promote. We'll double check that kind of stuff later on. But I'm pretty sure if we keep her around, when she becomes a Sword Master, she'll get Adept for free, which is, when you've got a lot of speed, not a bad skill to add in there with Vantage. Theoretically, there's other skills you could teach her. I would almost be willing to bet there's a way to get her either Luna, Sol, or Astra. Maybe not all of them are available, but I'd be willing to bet at least one of those is a skill that we can add. So, yeah, she's off to a really good start. A lot of it, of course, just because you've got good growths doesn't mean you'll get the good level ups, so there is a little bit of in-game luck as to whether or not it turns out as good as it could on paper. So she's already a little bit above average, and if she stays like that, well, she'll be a great character, a great unit. Laura, I mean, we'll cover Laura briefly here. Laura is our secondary thief that's not a very good thief. Constitution's too low, speed's whatever. She's not really good at it, and I don't want to spoil Laura's story, but not a great thief and not really great at much else, so you can just think of that what you will. She can still open doors and steal items, but she can't really steal anything heavier than... Like, she can't even steal... Like, a heal staff weighs 4? So she can't even steal a heal staff. She can steal, like, a fire tome. And that's it. Thunder tomes are 4. Probably everything else is heavier. Like, there's not much she can actually steal. So all she can really do is open doors and chests. And that's not much. And yeah, she can steal keys, sure. But anyway, she's just a redundancy right now. We've got a better thief already. So Laura's growth, just to go over them briefly. 45% HP, sure. 10% magic, 10% strength, 50% skill, 70% speed, you know, that's nice. 60% luck, that's a good defensive skill. 20% defense, 5% build, and 3% movement. Actually, one of the higher movement chances. It's still not likely to get a lot of extra movement, but she could. She could end up with, you know, 8 or 9 movement if we got lucky. And hey there, Kane. Thanks for stopping by. Safi's best priest? Well, sadly, we don't have a Safi right now. I believe we'll be getting Nana before too long, just judging by the little bit I've looked up. Oh, come on, that's a spoiler. Laura is a thief. Don't be spoiling it for all the new viewers. Anyway, that's the review of units for the moment. So, you know, pretty much everyone we've got has the potential to grow. Some of them are a little bit better at it than others. And we'll talk more about Seti, or Sed, and Asbel once we get there. He does have a crazy looking wind tome, personal weapon. And of course, Seti has the tome that he shouldn't have if we're playing Blue's canonical FE4 transfer, where we never even got it. But, I mean, this is the kind of thing we missed out on in FE4. The stats are a little different, I think, but notice the plus 20 skill and speed. One thing I thought I was looking at before I started recording this, his attack speed actually caps at 30. So this is something, I'm not sure if this is ever going to come up anytime soon, but your physical stats have a maximum of 20. So luck is 20, speed is 20, etc, etc. HP is generally like 80. But the normal sort of combat stat attributes have a max of 20 in this game. But it does look like with a magical bonus from your weapons, you can get above 20, because attack speed is just speed minus weapon weight minus con, and this is light enough that he's got enough constitution. So he actually should have 36 attack speed, but it looks like it caps it hard at 30. So that's, I mean, I don't know if it's ever going to matter, but it's kind of neat to know. Yeah, anyway, that's said. Pretty good. Steal his vulnerary. I mean, if I could steal something, like, he'd be the only one that can even equip it. I mean, these guys can only equip their own weapons, so. Anyway, we gotta get to work here. We're already like half an hour into a chapter. So yeah, this is, I'm probably gonna end up having to restart here once or twice. I have a general idea of how this chapter goes. Obviously the exit's up here. There's gonna be some locked doors on the way. There's someone to recruit. There's some villagers to let escape. I believe, like the last chapter, although we have to get to the Red Arrow, the villagers have alternate escape points and probably reinforcements that kidnap them, like last time. So we should probably expect that. And there are some things that we would like to steal or capture right here. Because, let's just assume we recruit Asbel. He does have the ability to use fire, lightning, and wind magic, although he's better at wind. He has a really cool personal tome, but nothing cheap and replaceable. This is like a killer. It's got 40 crit. It's better than a killer sword, and 13 might and perfect accuracy. So you know it's pretty good. On the scale of pretty good, it's up there. So yeah, I'd like to have some options so he doesn't always waste it, like fire tomes. And I think we should have from the last map, yeah, some thunder tomes. So we can pass those over. They're E rank thunder, and some E rank fire. Seems like a good idea. So what I'm gonna do is on turn 1. Oh boy, isn't there a mechanic? This is just one of those weird memories from some other Let's Play. I don't know who would have said it. Might have been someone like Mecha that I watched years ago. I forget. But don't enemy stats have a small random variance in Thracia, right? So there could be units that have beyond their base movement even. Not just plus or minus 1 strength or whatever, but there are the potential for units to have +1 movement. And in the dark, you can't even see. So, Thracia mechanics just always... Yeah, even here you go. That's exactly it. This guy, short lance, 6 movement. A basic soldier, short lance, 5 movement. So even there, that's a way to demonstrate it. That's why it's difficult to know where you're safe or not. Will Nana be my main healer? Oh, we're not talking about sort of mid-game strats just yet. We haven't even recruited Nana yet. We'll see how they do. The way I generally play it is, it's not simply who has the best growth, it's who gets the best in-game luck. If one healer has better actual level ups in my playthrough, then they get sort of preference, generally speaking. Or once I've invested, like, you know, stat boosting item to them, they kind of get preference. I think we're going to use Karen's Torch. It should give us vision, what's it say, +10, right? So you start with 3 basic, so she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we'll be able to see a long way back, for now at least, even if she just uses it from here. And she's not going to be the kind of character we want to hold the line with no defense and no HP. So she's not going to be attacking anyway. And this will give us a bit of an idea of what we're getting into. There you go. So, thanks, Fog of War. So what do we got? We got more soldiers with short lances, generally with 5 movement, but not always. So we don't need to really worry about capturing these guys, unless we really feel excited. They're also only level 1, so these guys aren't really worth a whole lot of experience, so just kill them and get on with it. Then we have a row of... Ooh. I mean... I say ooh because we're running low on swords. I could use a couple extra swords, and although long swords are not the best, I would take 1 or 2 of those if I could pull it off. So what we can do is just double check their movement. They've all got the same movement, that's probably helpful. Alright. Just trying to figure out who we're going to move down. The trick is probably to watch out for the attack range on these mages, which can just... This is the guy with the extra. This guy's got 7 move. That's not very nice. So, the way I see it, I can use these 2 tiles, if you're watching along, I can use these 2 tiles. Assuming the mages attack, it will draw down 2 different mages, or just 1 if I want to put just 1 person in that tile, without the whole batch coming at once, because we don't have enough people to fight off 4 mages, 4 armored soldiers, and 4 sword guys, and 4 lance guys. That's too much for 1 turn by a fair margin. So... And I'm assuming the mages will attack me. I don't even know. I'm just gonna... To save time, we'll have to replay all the text. We'll put a save here, so if everyone dies, we'll just go back to the beginning. If I use Leaf, he does have... Actually, no, he doesn't get any magic. It's the Fire Sword. The Flame Sword gives you magic for magic resistance. So we probably don't have anyone that can really tank magic. I guess Karen has 7 magic. I'm like, I'm not going to use her, right? Well, she actually has the resist. I didn't even think of it. She's got 7 magic. I didn't even notice that she has so much magic. That's interesting. So, alright, well. Yeah, she'll be safe. No, she won't. She's not safe. She'd never be safe, because... So the spot you want to use is this spot, where Lithis is. Because these guys can't attack. As long as the lower soldiers don't get +1 movement, they can only get to here. And as long as this guy doesn't get +1 movement, and as long as this guy and this guy don't get +1 movement, then only one person could attack you. Oh, jeez. And you wouldn't know that until you used a torch anyway. Well, to save a little bit of time, we'll do it like this. So she's out right away. How much magic damage is she going to take? Oh, nothing. They might not even attack her, actually. Well, let's test that theory out. We'll find out real quick if 0 damage means they won't attack. Oh yeah, and meanwhile up here. Only took 30 minutes to make my first turn. Oh, I forgot to move these guys out of the way anyway. Oh man. Thanks, Maka. You're awesome, though. That's Vantage for you. That probably broke her Iron Sword, though, so I wouldn't expect that 2 in a row. Meanwhile, Sed's just going to kill everybody up there. All this talk about how to lure one mage down, I forgot I had to move everyone else back a row. She actually hit at 29% with a broken sword. Not bad. I'm probably just gonna have to restart because this was yeah. We'll see. Maybe we have enough luck that we don't take a ton of damage, but this was not what I intended to do. This is definitely not quite optimal. +1 HP, +1 speed. That's a bit of a weak level, but I'll take the speed at least. Alright, so this is another attack that I wasn't planning on. Good dodge, though. That's a very helpful dodge. Like, this is the guy with extra movement. He's a real pain. Maybe we just stick with this anyway. This was a bad strategy. Make no mistake. And the one that I was trying to lure down didn't move anyway because he couldn't deal damage. So I did learn that they won't attack for 0 damage, which is another one of those little tweaks that changes between games. Because this guy could have attacked Karen, but chose not to. Well, all in all, this actually worked out super awesome. Because we didn't take any damage, and we only lured out the mages in the front. So, pretty sweet. Alright, have fun with your dogs there, Tim. So yeah, like this is good. Now we just have to try to grab a... Oh yeah, like this is a really good guy to capture with a door key and a vulnerary. The thieves... How much does a fire tome weigh? 4. So 1 thief can steal 1 fire tome, but Laura cannot. But Lithis could steal one of the tomes and stop them from fighting. So how do we want to do this? This side is still loaded, and it's... I guess they probably didn't attack. 10 damage, 11 defense. So yeah, Dawson... I gotta remember that the AI is different when they can't deal damage. That's a pretty important point to sort of bash into my skull. And yeah, we did break that sword. Okay, we could transfer an iron sword over, just kill this guy, probably. I don't care about capturing him. Maka... She could be one of my mage capturers. I'd kind of like to have Dhalsim up on like this tile at the end of the turn, because they won't move to attack him and he can block a bit. And these guys only do, well, they do 19 damage. Yeah, okay, they'll attack him. Yeah, we gotta be careful. These guys have a lot of strength. They hit pretty hard if they hit. Now, Dhalsim can take a couple of those, no problem, but you gotta remember my weak units almost get one shot by them. Maybe we just stay where we are. Well, I've got to deal with these guys, so... yeah, if I put people on this line, they'll be in reach of one of the 19 damage armor knights only. But also the mage, because we haven't... assuming we can kill these 3 mages or capture them, 1 armor knight and 1 additional 7 damage mage. Okay. That's survivable for someone like Dhalsim. So let's just see what his odds here would be if I went for cap. 65%. Not great. If I did that, this guy would be really easy to deal with. I want to see what, if it's like an easy, if I use something like a killing edge on one of these guys. Yeah, we still double. It's basically a guaranteed cap. I mean, I'm not trying to say like we have to capture every single one, but this guy would be really nice, and a couple electrifiers wouldn't hurt. Vulneraries are in short supply. Of course, we have some inventory limits as well, so don't forget about that. 5 con means Leaf can't hurt these people. Okay, what I'm gonna do... I don't want to put anyone in this tile. Let's see how Fergus... He doubles, 10 damage, 10 damage. Takes very little in return. Could be hit by 1 armor knight and 1 mage. He'll take like 15 damage from the armor knight, though. That's the trouble, right? Like, these guys hit really hard. That's actually 21. I thought they all had 19, but I was wrong. This guy specifically hits for 21. Wowzers. So... 17 damage from 1 attack, plus 7 from the mage, he's dead. Well, 25, no. But if he takes the counter, right? Like, if we go for this, get hit on the counter, and then also get hit by the armor knight, and then also get hit by the mage, he's dead. We might want to stay out of this guy's range for a turn. In which case, we basically need Maka to clear the spell out. Yeah. Honestly, Karen might just be capture bait anyway at this point for this chapter. 9 damage, 9 damage. She takes 1 encounter. Oh yeah, she's good. She's good. She's a good girl. Okay. Oh, but that tile is dangerous too. Dang it. I think we're gonna have to try something like this. I know it's only 65%, but boy, my backup strats are really bad here. If we If we miss, it's bad. This is a really rough start to a chapter. Alright, Dawson, good job, buddy. HP, speed, and constitution? Oh, Dawson. If there's one stat he needs, it's speed. So that was nice. Alright. Well, that part's good. We could steal that tome. So what am I doing about this mage? Am I doing anything? Anyone I put into range of that guy can be hit by the... Anyone that kills this guy or steals from him will be hit by a knight. Wow, the damage is all over the place. 19 power, 19 power, 21 power, 14. What a skew. So 14 is the weakest of the batch. So 14 damage from sword, and then 7 magic damage. Maybe that's enough that we just steal it? 14 damage sword does 11. 7 magic damage doesn't kill. So as long as he steals the fire tome, and this guy is dead, Lithis will be fine. And that's fine. Yeah, but we have to make sure we can deal with this guy first. Or else add in that and then he's dead. So first up, kill or capture if possible. Let's see how Leaf would do. Not heavy enough. Let's see how maybe Fergus. Not able to double. Might not be possible to capture this one. That's fine. We don't have to capture everybody. We need 6 speed. Most people aren't even really close. At least not without some help. Technically, we could steal his vulnerary, rescue her, and then try to kill him. I'm sort of just shaking my head, but this is kind of greedy, but I don't think it's going to make much difference. We're just going to go for the kill now. Does the short sword do enough damage? Yeah, this gives us 99% accuracy. We still might take a hit. But this square is not in range of the big guys, so he'd only be in range of... Well, yeah, this mage will be out. So he'll only be in range of one soldier with a lance, so he should be fine to take a mage counter and one of those. I mean, might as well go for 99. I mean, if we ever miss a 99 on a critical turn like this, it's just gonna suck. But there's not much you can do. That's just Thracia. And I gotta remember, Fergus has that ×5 crit multiplier on his second, so pretty good at that. Alright, so that worked. Now I'm pretty confident Lithis can do this safely. As long as we take... We also have to make sure we get that fire tome. We gotta have inventory. I guess Karen... I mean, I was talking about making her capture bait earlier, but if I give her items, then we don't want to do that either, so... For now, she's just gonna hold on to some stuff. We'll steal the fire. Can only steal 1 item per turn. That's good to remember, but not surprising. So he can't attack. We got 3 mages done right away. Not bad. Wrong guy. Just cleaning up inventory. Take and release. The only sort of downside is by stealing that vulnerary on Lara, I can't put her down this turn and have her steal something next turn, but that should be fine. Okay, I think that went about as well as I could have handled it. So this guy's lured down. We gotta kind of try to lure these down like one at a time if possible. So. Oh, lucky hit there. 60, I mean, I say lucky. I just don't believe any numbers in Thracia unless it's like 95% or higher. This shouldn't do too much damage. Nice Fergus. Fergus has Wrath, right? So he gets a basically guaranteed critical on his first counterattack. +1 strength. Well, that makes his Wrath do even more damage. I guess it would be nice to go rescue Asbel soon, so he stops wasting his weapon uses. I think green units don't get experience or anything, so until we go recruit him, he's just killing things for no XP and no, just wasting his weapons basically. 1 HP for Lithis. All right. Well, our level ups have not been super hot today. Oh, he just left. Sure. See ya. I'm sure there's a fair bit of RNG on what these guys do. I wonder what the odds are of Asbel just dying. And then you just have to restart anyway if you want him. Just before you can do anything. If he just straight up dies on our way up there, I'm gonna be